Okay, I was asked how to find critical values. So you use these critical values in hypothesis testing, confidence intervals, finding the sample size, and you can always find like a cheat sheet like this. But what I like to do is I like to actually have a cell in Google Sheets that I can use at a later time, right? Because one, some of these are being rounded. Two, what if I need 86%? So the first thing to figure out is the number that you're plugging in. So if I'm looking for the critical values that cut off, let's say 99% here in the middle. What's important about this is there's some area there and there's some area there, is that when you read a table or when you use technology, they all give the critical value from all the way at the end up until that point. So if you notice what's happening, they're adding 99% plus that area. Well, what is that area? Remember, the entire curve has to add to 100% or 1. So if I took 1 minus 0.99 and I divided it by 2. Why am I dividing it by 2? Because half of the area is here and half of the area is there. Okay, so when I do that, I get 0.005 in both of these areas. And I mean, you can convince yourself, if you add 99 plus 0.005 plus 0.005, if you add those up, as you should, you'll get 1 or 100%. So that's the first part, is trying to figure out why, when I'm using a 99%, am I using that value. Okay, I think I have too many 9s there. 9.5, there we go, that value. So for 99%, I'm using 0.99. It would be no different if you had something, let's say you wanted to look up 90%. Well, if this is 90%, that's 5%, and that's 5%. Guess what number you'd actually be looking up? These two added together, 95. All right, so hopefully now that kind of made sense why I'm going to use the 0.995. Now, I have a crazy Google Sheets. I mean, I put formulas in here, so I have them, for later. I, post things in here. Here's even a question. But yours is pretty clean, right? And looks like this. And I'm on the Compute tab. Because I know that I am going to want to look up critical values a lot, okay, I'm going to make something here, and I'm just going to type, this is going to be my critical Z value. And what I need is to find the area, okay, which was that 0.995. So I'm going to just call that left area, and I'll put the 0.995 in here. Now from here, I can do a formula for the critical value, for this critical value Z, with an equals NORM INV, open a parentheses, okay? Notice that it says, it wants the X value. In this case, it would be that cell, the left area, comma, it wants the standardized mean of 0 and the standardized standard deviation of 1. And you can kind of already see the number right there when I hit enter, which is the same value but rounded, right, of this 2.58 number. And if you even did this, so 0, 1, the lower value, really small, all the way up to 2.575. Notice what happens here. That's the 0.995. So this is a good little formula, because now I can test this. As long as these stay 0 and 1, I can say, well, I wonder about the 0 well, let me do the 0.90 because I can do that in my head. Remember that was, I plug actually in 0.95, and you can see where they get this value. So it's a good little formula to add to your Google Sheets to leave it in here. But like I said, you are free to, because you're going to use this right on your test, you're free to add as many things in here as you need. Like I mentioned right here on this Google Sheets, I even added the sample size formula. And so I put this formula in here where I get my Z value, my standard deviation, because I don't want to have to compute this every time. So feel free to add in here. And if there's something that's not in here that you're just wondering, I wonder if there's a way to add that in Google Sheets, just shoot me an email and I will gladly make another video showing you how.